On social media, they talk about him being an ancestor. They call him, you know, they ask me, is that your dad or is that your grandfather? They ask, I mean, they say, you know, he should be ready to be buried in a septic tank. They say that, you know, I am a killer, potential killer. They actually say that.
Yes.
They send RIP messages to him. They say to this poor man. But there are some comments which are racist. So some of them call him colonialist. Why should I not be allowed to make a conscious decision to be with a partner that I have chosen? Not even my parents have come to me and said, no, don't be with this man. They are like, this is the man you've chosen. Have we beaten you to get married to this man?
No.
Has anyone beaten you to be married to this man?
Has anyone forced you?
Has anyone forced you?
No.
No, ni uchawi.
Hapana, ni wewe unataka.
Yeah,
Ni
it's
mimi
me.
that I'm the one who
Blessings,
wants to.
blessings, go and prosper. So they say I'm a sex slave. They say kama si sex slave, mimi ni slave wa nyumba. They say this and that and the other. He's just there to use you, to use your body. So I'm like, okay, but have I not made the decision to be with this man? Seriously. Do they understand what a slave means, honestly? When you are a slave, Lynn, you have no say anywhere. You are chained. You are locked. You are like a prisoner. I'm not a prisoner. If I'm a prisoner of anything, I'm a prisoner of love.
Hello, welcome to Tuko Talks. My name is Lynn Gugi. Now, my guest today is not worried about the people calling her husband an ancestor or assuming he will soon find himself in a septic tank. The 32-year age gap between them does not bother them. So the big question they are asking is, why should it bother you? What they have is true love. So without further ado, please allow me to let her introduce herself. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Mommy, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Lynn?
I'm good, I'm good. Thank you so much for having us here.
I'm glad to be here.
Uku. Kabla tuendelee, hebu introduce yourself.
My name is Shiro Njuguna. I am a wife to a very handsome man named Greg, and a mother of 2 boys, 7 years old. They are twins.
They are twins.
Yes.
And they are amazing.
Amazing, lovely, all those sweet words.
All those sweet words.
Yes.
And you're only 28.
Yes, I'm 28 years old.
Yeah, and your husband is?
My husband is 60 years old.
60.
Yes.
You know, when I spoke to you over the phone, and you told me some of the names people use to describe your relationship, I was like, okay, does this really happen?
It happens. It happens. And it's mostly, obviously, on social media, not like on the roads when we were walking, but on social media, they talk about him being an ancestor. They call him, you know, they ask me, is that your dad or is that your grandfather? They ask, I mean, they say, you know, he should be ready to be buried in a septic tank. They say that, you know, I am a killer, potential killer. They actually say that.
Yes.
They send RIP messages to him. They say to this poor man. But there are some comments which are racist. So some of them call him colonialist, you know. Recently, actually, I got a comment where someone said, huyu Mwafrika mjinga anafanya nini na colonialist, you know.
God.
Yeah. So they come. But through it all, we are very strong.
Yes.
Yes.
Do some other people say your name betrays you because that's where I'm trying to find the connection between
Absolutely.
The septic tank?
I mean, yeah. So when they see me, you know, they see my name is Shiro Njuguna, you know, they say it has to be Shiro. You know, it had to be Shiro.
Isemwe tu kweli, lazima akue Mkikuyu.
Lazima akue Mkikuyu. Yeah, he actually asks me, when we see some comments like that, he asks me, oh, this person knows you, because he doesn't understand why, you know, someone might say, it had to be Shiro, you know. So being a Kikuyu, of course, you know, brings
does not make it easier.
No, it doesn't.
It's
it doesn't.
Unfortunate.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And Ebu, let me ask you, so how did you meet your hubby?
So we met on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was just online one day, and then I saw a suggestion, a friend's suggestion. I added him. He wrote to me. We talked for some time, not long actually, and he invited me out for coffee. And we went.
He was living in Kenya?
At the time, he was visiting Kenya.
Okay.
So he was doing his work between Kenya in Germany. So he invited me out for coffee. I met him, and now we are here 8 years later.
So you went for coffee.
I went for coffee.
Did the age gap bother you, or what was? Because you were only 22 when you met him.
No,
were
no,
22 or 21?
No, I was 19 when I was 20 when I met him.
Really?
Yes.
You were 20 when you met him.
Yes.
And this man asks you for coffee.
Yeah.
And when you went for coffee, what was it like for you?
It was normal, actually. By the way, for me, I had never spoken to an older man before. I had never spoken to, let's say, personally, to a white guy, you know. So for him, what happened, for him to ask me out for coffee, I had just broken up like months previously with my first boyfriend. And you know, first loves, you break nakwambia, yes. So mimi na insomnia zangu na ma heartbreak na manini
uko tu pale Facebook,
niko tu pale tu, I'm just, you know, niko tu social media kama tu kawa. So I told him before, you know, when we were talking, I told him, you know, I'm nursing a breakup, blah blah blah. It was just a normal conversation. And he was like, oh, okay, would you like to maybe cheer up, you know, by going out for coffee or something. So that's why he asked me out for coffee, you know, and I said yes, you know, let's meet for coffee. Sikuwa nafanya kitu hiyo siku, so ningefanya nini? So I planned to meet him. I met him and it was okay. When I was going to meet him, sikuwa na mentality like I'm going to meet a potential partner. No, I was just meeting someone, because even for him, of course you will hear from him, when he met me, he wasn't meeting a potential partner. You understand? And that's where most people
go wrong.
Yeah, they go wrong.
Because people assume, so she went on Facebook, she saw her profile, this is a white man, he must have money, so let me go out for a date with the intention of hooking up after. That was not your intention.
That was not my intention. My intention actually at the time, mimi actually in my mind, nilikuwa nafikiria, like singefikiria naeza hata, let's say, date a white man, because they are not that common here in Kenya. Like, even if they are there, to come by with them atibaka mnafika mna meet, to have a relationship, it's not easy, you know. So mimi sikuwa na mentality ati no, I might go there and meet him so that, you know, I can maybe benefit from meeting him in any particular way. No, it was not.
Were you working, ama how were you making
No,
a living?
I was a student, because I was 19. So actually I had just finished my A level. I was going to join uni. Yeah, just months prior to meeting him, you know. So si ati nilikuwa natafuta, you know, some people by they have called me malaya, you know, they wanasema huyu ni malaya, alipata watoto akifanya malaya, blah blah blah. So I was like, hapana, actually it's not like that, and it's normal. I know kuna hiyo age gap, ambao ni 32 years. Some people might not understand why can a 19-year-old lady and a 52, and I'm not sure if he was 52, 53, something, whatever, 51.
Well, what can they see in each other?
Ni hata wanakutana waongee nini in the first place.
Hata what's going to be the common denominator in their conversation.
Exactly, like huelewi. So that's why most people think that meet, you know, mimi nilimit Greg nikifanya umalaya. That's what they think. You know, of which hurt. It does sometimes, but not anymore. Actually, before it used to hurt, but not anymore. Actually, hapana, nimemea pembe.
Umemea pembe.
Kabisa.
So you guys, you went for the date?
Yes, I went for the date.
The coffee date?
The coffee date. It was good. Actually, we talked about you know, life in Germany. We talked about life in Kenya. We talked about my education. We talked about his work. We talked about his family, my family, just very normal things. Na tukaachana na kutoka hapo hivyo tukaanza kuongea, and that's it. But shortly after that, by the way, hatukukaa sana. That's when I realized I was pregnant. And of course, knowing that I'm pregnant, you know, unaenda we ni mwanafunzi, and then bado kwa harufu ya mzazi. But at the time, my parents live in Nakuru, but at the time I was living with my sister. So you are like, oh my goodness, nitafanya nini, like what is going to happen? But one thing I knew from the beginning is that nimepata mimba. Ni sawa, nitazaa. You know, I didn't know the means, sikujua like, okay, kutaendaje, because even if the guy says, okay, ni sawa, tutalea mtoto, like you yourself as a 20-year-old, like bado uko mchanga. you know, you might not know so much,
Yes.
yeah, and especially about motherhood, and then uko na dreams that you want to achieve.
And you are going to uni.
Kabisa, I was going to uni,
Yeah.
my God, like, so hizi vitu ziko before me, and you know, before that, ndo nipate watoto, I had disappointed my parents in Uganda when I was there. So wakati walinipeleka shule, I studied there, and then nikatoka shule without their knowledge, and then it came, you know, it came out to be a very big thing. They were very disappointed in me. So now sasa nimekuja shortly after, ndo huyu wamesikia nimepata sasa mimba. But I didn't tell anyone, Lynn, that I was pregnant. I kept it a secret.
Even your sister?
Even my sister, even my brother, no one knew. Even my best friend didn't know. I kept it. I only told Greg.
And what did he say when you told him, hey,
Yeah.
my guy, me, I'm pregnant?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, are you sure? Yes. So we took another test. It came out positive. And akaniambia, it's okay, don't worry. I will take responsibility.
Really?
Yeah, he said that.
Oh God, wait
Yeah.
a minute. Before we even continue with this pregnancy journey, what is it about Greg?
Oh my goodness, like, where should I even begin?
Like, honestly, because I'm like, you obviously you slept with him, you got pregnant. There
Yeah.
must have been a connection.
Yeah.
You must have felt something for him.
Yes.
What is it about this guy?
First of all, he's handsome. He's very handsome. Yes.
Yeah.
And then he's very funny. Nani hapendi kucheka, Lynn? Nani hapendi kucheka?
Everyone. Like,
Everyone,
yeah,
eh?
yes.
Yeah, so he's very funny, he's very smart, you know, and then he's very caring. He's very like, even in our conversations, I could tell that this is someone who is very like responsible.
Yeah.
In terms of si hata life peke yake, but about other people. He's caring about other people. And then, so kulikuwa tu na hiyo connection, kulikuwa na hiyo spark. You know, I liked him a lot, of course, and then I fell in love with him.
You fell in love with
Yeah.
him, and it was working.
It was
and you're
working.
from a breakup. Was he a married man before? Or
No.
has he ever been married?
He has
before?
been married before,
Yeah.
but by the time I was meeting him, he had been divorced for 8 or 7 years. I'm not sure. He will confirm.
He'll clarify.
Yes, he will clarify.
Yeah.
But he was divorced.
Yeah.
Yes. So we were both single, and someone might think ilikuwa a rebound. You know, someone might think since nilikuwa nini na break up nini, but it wasn't a rebound. Okay, it just happened.
It was a connection.
Kulikuwa na connection na hakuna venye
Yeah.
inge break your connection, you know. And sometimes some things happen in life that they are a blessing in disguise,
Yeah,
you know. So without the breakup, kama si your breakup story yangu, like I wouldn't have met Greg,
I know.
because I wouldn't have mentioned it to him, you know. Maybe hiyo siku hata singejiambia wacha ni ongee na huyu msee, hata ni open up, you know, because he asked, wakati aliuliza how are you, mimi nilimwambia tu venye kuko.
You are nursing a break.
Yeah, I'm
so
nursing.
you were honest with this man from the word
From
go.
the word go, I was very honest with him.
Aya,
you know.
turudi hapa sasa mimba.
Turudi sasa. Tushapata sasa.
Turudi hapa kwa mimba.
Yeah.
Sasa ushamwambia I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
He has accepted.
Yeah.
At what point do you now guys decide? Now it's time for us to tell
Yeah.
our family.
That point haikukuja because we broke up before. Yeah, tulikosana hiyo time.
When you were pregnant.
When I was pregnant,
Yeah.
sana, because he was going back to Germany. Mimi nilikuwa hapa hivi Kenya. So in my head there was no way inge work. So nilikuwa tu na mavitu mingi juu nilikuwa nataka kumpush sana akuje Kenya. You know, I wasn't seeing myself ati nikienda kuishi huko. Hata sometimes people think that it's because I'm looking for passport or I don't know. Hiyo nini yao, kadi yao, EU card. But hapana, it's not the case, yeah. So tuli break up within before hata niambie anyone.
Yes.
So yeah, alikuwa Germany at the time. I was here in Kenya. So I was single. I was completely single. Tulikuwa hata, you know, tume block communication between each other. So at that point, I was a young single lady. Yes.
A young single mom.
Yes.
Wow. So you carried the pregnancy alone?
Yes, I did it. I did it alone, but gladly. See, I was living with my sisters at the time. So they were suspecting, but they never asked me. No one ever asked me. And wakati ilifika, what happened, tulienda ku visit my parents in April. It was in April 2013. Ilikuwa Easter. So when we went to Nakuru, my mom was like, Shiro, hii nguo umevaa, kwani uko na mimba? Kama ameshtuka, nikamwambia mimba gani?
Umeona wapi mimba wewe?
Iko imetoka wapi? Guy, And you know, by the way, venye sisi tumeraiziwa, hakuna venye yaki mtu wote ange expect. Ati kama ni kuzalia home, sisi ndio tunaweza zalia home. My mom alikuwa anashika wasichana church, akiwatunza, akiwalea, akiwa guide about, you know, purity na kujiweka until marriage. So she was like, but you know, you look pregnant. What is it? Nikamwambia, I told her, I think I'm sick. And she was like, you're sick? Yes. Where? I'm very sorry to say this, but it's important I say it, yeah? But I told her, I think I have cysts, ovarian cysts. I know, it's not something to joke about.
Why did you joke about it?
Because I felt like they would accept it, then they would rather accept that than
your pregnancy.
Than my pregnancy, you know? So she was like, when your dad comes, I will tell him that tomorrow we'll go to hospital. So I was like, okay. So when my dad came, he came at 8. And when he went in, so see, they opened the gate for him. He came in through the main door.
Yes.
I left through the back door. I left through the back door. I was the one cooking ugali that day. Oh my goodness. They ate unga that day. They ate unga. Yeah.
I imagine too.
You can imagine, eh? So I left, it's 8:30.
Yeah.
And where we live, where my parents live, it's in Lanet. At the time, there were not many cars there, you know, matatus. So after 8, you don't find a matatu going to town. Like, who is going to town at 8 p.m.? You know, so there was no matatus. But there was this one that was going to, I don't remember if it's Kiondo, a place called Kiondo. So I hopped on that one. After that one, I hopped on another one to town. And then when I got to town, I came to Nairobi. So when I came to Nairobi, when I was on the way, I knew I wasn't going to go to my sister's place, because they will know I'm there. They will look for me there. I mean, me, I was just afraid of like their reaction, to see their faces, you know, the disappointment on their faces.
You've let us down.
I was just like, I'm not going to see this, you know. It's not that they would have done anything big, you know, like beating me or killing me or anything, but just the disappointment after all the work they have done, you know, after all the guidance, yani, you know.
And all the investment.
Imagine, they've done everything, you know, they've denied themselves, they've just provided for you, made sure that you have everything to make sure that you attain your dreams,
and
you know.
This is the thanks we get.
And then this is what we get. Oh my God, this suit is like, okay, we want kids, but not now, you know. So I was like, I'm not going to face this. So when I was coming to Nairobi, so I Googled, I was like, okay, is there a place someone can go when they're expectant and they don't have anywhere to go? Because I knew I'm not going to be in the streets. At that time, you know, I'm not talking with Greg. So I'm seeing myself.
And
it's
broke.
just me. And broke, completely broke. Fair too, that's all I had, you know. So I was like, let me Google. So when I Googled, I found an orphanage. I would rather not mention the name, right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I found an orphanage that was in Ngong that takes
single moms.
No.
Yeah.
Orphans. You see? So I didn't find any for single moms. So I was like, I'll go there. I had never gone to Ngong. I didn't know where I would take a matatu to Ngong. I was just like, oh my goodness. But I asked around, luckily. I went to railways, they directed me. So I went to that place. When I went to that place, they told me we don't take, you know, people who have, parents. We take orphans only. And especially if you're pregnant. So, but the lady who was there, I think she was the manager at the time. So she called the headquarters, which is in Kayole. When I say Kayole, maybe someone might know what I'm talking about, yeah? But so when they called there, the lady, the owner now of the place, said, please send her to Kayole. But before that, kindly take her to the police. She writes a statement that she has run away from home, you know, that, you know, and where she is. So that's the protocol that they have to use. So we went, I told them that I ran away from home because of this and this and that, and I've come here to seek refuge. So I left Ngong, I went to Kayole. So when I was in Kayole, she was like, honestly, I do not take pregnant ladies. We take children under 10 years old. But there is something about you when we talked, you know, she has to talk to you. Obviously, you have to talk to someone, right? So she talked to me, she asked me, did your parents chase you? No. Were you afraid of your safety? I was like, no, actually. Okay. Do your parents love you? I was like, yes. And so are you sure you want to stay here? I was like, yes, I would like, if it's possible, you shelter me for some time. I'm not sure how long. That would be amazing, you know. So, but there was a misunderstanding, Lee, in communication when I communicated with the guy who was now in the Ngong branch.
Yeah.
So first I talked to a guy before I talked to the manager, right? So when I talked to the guy, I told him about how I knew I was pregnant. So anyway, I told him I went and I took 10 tests and they all came positive.
Yeah.
So when I went to Kayole, the lady is like, oh, she's so young. So how do you feel to be HIV positive? I was like, excuse me? What do you mean? I was like, I laughed, I stood up, I was stamping on tables. I was like,
the 10 tests that came positive,
yes,
he thought you said you are HIV positive.
Yeah, and actually he almost cried. And I thought it's because I'm young and pregnant. Kumbe he was like, oh, okay, she's
HIV
yeah,
positive.
Yeah. Guess what? They had already called my mom in Nakuru to tell her I'm HIV positive. Yes. So she was like, oh my God, we've called your mom. Are you sure you're not HIV positive? Yes. Okay, have you ever taken any tests? I was like, yes, I took a test. And it came out negative? Yes. Okay, we need to call your mother because we already called her and told her you're here.
And you're positive.
And you're HIV positive and pregnant.
God, shouldn't even those news be confidential?
I know, like, you know.
Yeah, but then I understand the concern.
Yeah, the concern that they had, you know.
Yeah.
And then also they are hearing that, you know, I've run away from home. My parents must be very worried.
Yes.
And so I think they thought that's why I ran away from home.
Yeah.
It's not even much about the pregnancy, but my status.
Yeah.
So I cleared that with them. So they had to call my mom. And my mom, of course, you can imagine, she was like, oh my God, she was crying already, like at home. But they clarified that with her. And the next day, they made sure to take me to a clinic. And I was tested. It came for HIV, which came out negative. And that was when I went for my first clinic. I had never attended any prenatal visits to the clinics. Yeah. Anyway, after that, they kept me. Let me just start by saying that, which I'm very, very grateful for. I was the first person, you know, young lady who is pregnant, seeking refuge, who was sheltered in that place. Yeah. And they were very nice to me, you know. So when before I went for my second visit, my labor came. Yes. And so I called my mom. I was like, Mom,
kumekujo.
Nikaa kuna kujwa. No, mimi nilimwambia ni kama makojo inatoka peke yake. I'm sorry to say the word makojo, but
why are you sorry? It's makojo.
It's makojo. Yeah. No other word for it.
Other words.
Yeah, so, and she's like, no, that's not makojo. It's your water breaking. Yeah, there was a nurse who was living in the premises. So she was like, please call her, ask her to take you to a hospital. That's when they took me to a hospital. I went there, and within 5 hours, I had my babies.
And you had twins.
Yes, and beautiful I had twins. Beautiful babies, actually. I'm so grateful to God.
Yeah.
That even without, like, the clinics and all, I'm not saying don't go to clinics, no.
That's not what you are
No. But
I think there was so much favor and grace following you.
Imagine.
Because I'm just like, you are so young. You are so young. Your babies are here. You are not talking to your husband.
Yeah, I'm not talking to my parents, although they came and visited me, by the way, before I had my babies.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, I have to go and see my child. And they were all asking, unaweza kuja tu nyumbani. My sister was asking. But mi sikuwa nataka. I didn't want. I didn't feel like I was ready to face them, You
just wanted to be alone.
I just wanted to be alone,
Yeah.
And then it's a lot to take in. And I know people say that you should be with your loved ones then. But for me, at that point, I felt like I felt like, Yani, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to face that.
Just let me be alone.
Yeah, just let me be, Which is okay. And I'm glad that through it all, I came out healthy. My babies came out healthy. And at that point, we had started talking with Greg now. He was still in Germany. Yeah, but due to health issues, he couldn't come. Yeah.
What was he like when you told him, hey, I gave birth and we have boys.
Twins. Yeah, he was excited actually. So the first thing he's like, okay, can I have the pictures? So he saw the babies. They were tiny, 2 kgs and 2.1 kgs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the baby came, and I mean, when I told him, I sent him lots and lots of pictures. He was very excited, but sorry that he couldn't be with us, you know, at the time. So yeah, we just had to wait.
For him.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Shikilia. Hey, you are strong.
Nakwambia.
Hey, you are strong.
God, it's the grace.
It's
I
the
say,
grace,
yeah.
It's the grace of God. So at what point now did you guys reconnect?
So after that, we broke up again. Before he came, yeah, you guys.
So you made up,
Yeah.
then you broke up.
Then we broke up before he came.
Yeah.
So I was single, and then I left that place now. After 6 months, I left that place. I went to my sister for a while, and then I went to Nakuru. My mom was like, no, you kuja nyumbani, you know. So I went back to Nakuru, and in 2016, that's when Greg came back to Kenya now. So they were 3 years by then. So yeah, so when he came, that's the reconnection happened. He met the children during that period, and then we moved in together. And in 2017, we stayed together.
Yeah.
But before mwaka iishe, tuli break up, Lynn. Yeah. So he went back to Germany. I can say also the childishness. Sijui nikwambie nini, like, because, but the thing is, Lynn, yeah, I was very bitter. Very, very bitter. During that time, you know, the separation time, yeah?
And also carrying this whole pregnancy alone.
Yeah, the whole thing, I was so bitter because I felt like, you know, not even me, my kids don't deserve that. You know, they deserve better.
Greg comes back, you guys, you fight,
Yeah.
he goes back, your kids are growing up.
Yeah.
Today they see their dad, tomorrow he's not
Yeah.
around. How was that like for them?
For them, it was confusing the second time. You see now in 2017,
When
the first time when he came now, when he
Yeah.
met them.
At
that's
3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when it was confusing for them. Because now they are understanding. Now, for the first time, they have someone to call father. And all of a sudden, he's not there anymore. And he would ask me, you know, where is daddy? Where is daddy coming back? And I made sure, not even once, did I ever say anything negative about their father.
Amazing.
Like, never. I was like, there's no way I can do that to my children or even to Greg, because it's not like we are protecting ourselves, you know, we are protecting them and their hearts. Because in my mind, I was like, when it comes to a point that they have a relationship, can you imagine what seed I can plant in them if I now, you know, bring them up telling them that their
How
father...
bad their dad
Can you
is.
imagine? I was like, I'm not going to do that. You know,
Amazing.
and I said one thing, I'm not going to kill him before his death. I'm not going to say he's dead. He's alive, okay?
You
He's
made
just...
sure your kids knew their dad
They
is
knew
alive.
their dad is alive. They knew their dad is in Germany, even if they didn't understand where Germany was, but they knew it's somewhere far. And I wanted to protect that for them, their father's image for them, you know. And, you know, for me, as a parent, it was hard. You know, with the school, as I told you, you know, they have parents meeting, Father's Days, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it's a mom. So I made sure to work so hard in terms of moral support, emotional support, financial support, so that they don't
Miss
feel,
out, like
they are missing out.
Kai.
You know, because for me, I was like, whether or not I work out with Greg, my children, I would like for them to have a relationship with their father. And the only thing I can do that is if I protect his image, you know, to them. And I did that. I made sure to do that,
Okay.
you know. And I would advise mothers, Aki, to try. I know some men, you know, for me and Greg, it's not like we had like a fight such that I can say this man is so bad at he.
This is a monster.
Yeah, this is a monster.
Yeah.
I faced, I don't know, abuse or of any kind. No. So I was like, yes, it's not that. But even if you have, please, for the sake of the child, try to protect the image. Not even for the father, for your child, you know. Try to never make them feel unwanted. Because for me, I never wanted them to feel that I'm unwanted. Just because my dad is not here.
You made sure they knew they
Yeah.
were loved from
Yes.
all sides. Huh?
From all sides.
Yeah.
And if he sends something, if he sends money, dad bought this. Dad bought
Not
this.
me. This
Not
came
me.
from dad.
This came from dad.
Wow.
This came from dad.
Amazing.
So
So he would still support them, even if you guys you were not talking. He supported.
yeah,
you
he
guys
supported
financially.
us. He supported us, though not always, because there were times when he couldn't because of
Anaenda missing.
anaenda missing, tumeblokiana hapa na pale, niko like hapana.
I can't deal with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ni staki yani. So kulikuwa na hizo moments na times ambazo my family had to step in, some of my friends had to step in, and it is okay, you know. But people said, you know, how can pointies go, you know, without something,
me I
without
was
anything?
about to ask you now, hizi miaka
Yeah.
your children are struggling, you're struggling.
Yeah.
Are people not telling you huyu si ako na pointi, mbona hawasafi? Why are the kids suffering?
I know.
Why is she not driving?
Yeah.
Why is she living like this? What were people
Yeah.
saying?
People were asking, and some of them would ask directly, by the way. They would ask me.
The audacity.
Yeah, I know, udaku, eh? So they would ask, how come, you know, how come that your children go without something and something, this and that, you know, ama ujui baba ni nani, or you don't know who the father is, you know. So most of them actually came into the conclusion that maybe I don't know who the father was. Like I went out there and I got
Playing
children.
around, you
Yeah,
got
and I
kids.
got kids not knowing who the dad is, so I don't have anyone to show, you know, because you know the famous phrase is wazungu hawatupi watoto, you know, they don't, how can I say
Leave
it in
their
English?
kids.
Yeah.
Like they don't, yeah.
They always take
Wazungu hawatupi
responsibility.
watoto ni wazungu, they always take responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how come you, how come you're the first,
Uliachwa.
you're the first nini, you're the first case, but I'm not the first case. These things are there. They happen, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't know why people like to stereotype interracial relationships. Like they are stereotyped a lot, and there's so many scrutiny that comes with it that, you know, puts so much pressure, especially on mothers, I would say, who have children with
Yeah.
let's say white other
yes.
races.
Oh, yeah.
So you have a pointy child here, and maybe you're not together with the father, somehow he's not supporting the children.
Yeah.
Guy, wacha nikwambie, people are like, you know, how is that even possible?
Good. I wanna come to that part because I wanna understand how you guys dealt with the challenges.
Yeah.
And all the criticism and all the things and people being sarcastic about your relationship.
Yeah.
So before we do, at what point did you guys now get yourself in a position where you can stay together
Yeah.
in this house and raise your family?
So that was after 2017, after he left. In late 2018, we started talking again. We never went at long without talking. No, we started talking, and he started, you know, saying, from the beginning I had told him, like, there's no way I'm moving to Germany, you know. I would like to live here in Kenya. I would like to base my life here in Kenya. And that was one of the frictions that we had, because for him, he felt like, you know,
Germany has
it would
good
be-
life. It
Yeah.
would be good for us and our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So eventually he was like, I'm going to sell all my properties and come to Kenya. Yeah.
Did you believe him?
No. I didn't, Lynn.
Yeah.
Because at first you can realize, I mean, you can imagine with all the disappointments that we have with each other, you know, see, it's not him being bad.
Yes.
It's the both of us being bad to each other, you know, us not working out at all.
You are the realest
I
man.
know.
You don't even play. You don't do the victim mentality.
No,
That I was the
hapana.
good one
Guy,
in the
hapana.
relationship.
No. No, wacha iseme benye kuko, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we were both being, you know, hard-headed, you know, towards each other. So, in last year, so when he said, okay, now I'm going to sell all my properties and come, I felt like there has been so many disappointments in our relationships, and every time we've tried to work out, it hasn't worked out. So I can't believe this. And I didn't believe until he came this year, February.
Yeah.
So he came, and when he was on the plane, before he came, we had a fight, by the way. But anyway, tulisort wakati alikam. The first thing he landed, by the way, the following day. I didn't even pick him from the airport. But anyway, the next day, ndo nakwambia mimi ni dramatic sometimes.
Yes.
But anyway, the next day, we met and we talked, and we decided, okay, we are going to work on this. But even then, you can imagine, we haven't had time to work on us as a relationship, like at a couple, you know, Lynn.
Yeah,
So there are
things
so many,
moved so fast.
yeah, there are so many burdens.
Yes.
Kuna kule, so many like baggage, you know, a lot of baggage. So we had to work on our trust. So for him, he came, you know, as we had planned, we are coming, you know, I'm coming, we go home, we see your parents, we, you know, we come, we get married, and sasa tuanze kuishi pamoja, you know. But then I pulled back. I was like, ay, hapana. Wacha kwanza tuone kama this will work out or not.
Yeah.
So I gave him a hard time, by the way, at first. At a point when he was in Kitengela, I was in Utawala by then. He had to make daily trips in the morning to come see me, like every day. And even when he's coming to see me, I'm not letting him yet to the house that I was staying. So to go to meet at a place, I won't mention where, but at a place in Utawala. So we just spend the day, we talk, we play our games, we discuss, you know, very core things, because there, you know, we have difference in religion as well.
Yeah.
And then there's this cultural
shock.
Yani there's so much
Yeah.
that zina to, you know, they're just trying to break us.
Yeah.
So I was just like, we need to talk about these things first before we can now
move in
We
together,
can now move in
or even
together.
go meet my parents.
Yeah, and we did that. So he made the commitment. He was like, I'm here, I sold everything to come and be with you and the kids, and I'm not looking back. So we went home. Yeah, and the good thing is, Aki, my family, they are so accepting and they are so loving that Greg has never felt
Out
any
of
sense
place.
of rejection. Imagine, even through all that, even them having to experience, you know, even for a grandparent, it's hard to experience a grandchild not having a father figure or a mother, you know, in their, you know, in their lives. So, but they never, it was all left behind. They accepted him. We went home. It was such a nice time. It was one of the best visits we've made, actually, to my parents. And he asked for my hand in marriage. He said he wants, you know, us to be a family. Now we want to be together. We want to get married. We want to raise our kids together. And we got my parents' blessings.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
bless them. Oh God, he's getting your parents' blessings. Are you getting any blessings from his family side, or do you even know anyone from his side?
Okay, I know. So unfortunately, Greg doesn't have many left.
Okay.
So both of his parents are deceased, and then he has two brothers, one of which is very sick, that, you know, he's not well at all, and one brother who I know who is called Adrian. Yes, we have his blessing, and he's actually the one who is going to be, he lives in the UK, he's going to be his best man.
Oh my goodness, God bless. Am I coming to this wedding?
Kabisa!
Nitaosha vyombo pale nyuma ya tent.
You are coming, Lynn.
Lazima nijue watu watuko wajue niliwakilisha.
I know.
I'm coming. And you love this man.
I love him so much, like so much, you know. And it's a love, like, I don't know, you know how people, that's why I'm saying, like, if someone can fall in love with, I don't know, an age mate, why is it wrong for me to fall in love with someone who is older than me?
What has age got to do with it?
What exactly does it have to anything to do with it? You know, why should I not be allowed to make a conscious decision to be with a partner that I have chosen? Not even my parents have come to me and said, no, don't be with this man. They are like, this is the man you've chosen. Have we beaten you to get married to this man?
No.
Has anyone beaten you to be married to this man?
Has anyone forced you?
Has anyone forced you?
No.
No, ni uchawi.
Hapana, ni wewe unataka.
Yeah,
ni
it's
mimi
me.
that I'm the one who wants to.
Blessings. Go and prosper.
Go and prosper.
Yeah.
You are getting blessings from all the people you love.
All the people I love.
And then people who have no clue
whatsoever
about you are now busy calling him an ancestor.
Colonialist.
Septic tank iko ready.
Septic tank naambiwagwa ni make sure zimesiliwa zote. Because he's going in there soon. And I tell them it's wrong. I'm not saying don't say those things. I'm not saying don't say that, because you are you know. And
you have the freedom to say whatever you want to say.
Exactly. Just say whatever you want to say, but understand that this, you know, there's realness to age gap love. You know, it exists.
Hey, repeat that. There's what?
There's realness to age gap love. Yes.
It exists.
It exists. And it's okay. It's fine. So if there is someone there who is falling in love with an older man or who has fallen in love with an older man. You know, you don't have to be young at 20 ama sijui 30 or whatever at the age to have an older man. You can be 50 and still be told you unaoa mzee wakati unaoa mtu wa 50 or 70 years old. So if you are there, you are falling in love with an older man, be proud of your love, be courageous, be yani excited about your love. For me, I like sharing my love story. Like, I love it because even on social media, I'm like, I'm doing this. And actually, the hate comments, they motivate us. You know, we are like, oh.
Do you guys go through them together?
I go them, no, mostly I do it because for him, he's not even so interested in social media.
Yeah.
But I go through it and I show him, he sees, when he goes to my page, he sees.
He
sees.
He sees.
Yeah, he sees.
He sees.
It's okay. He sees these comments and he's like, so when he comes to like the negative comments that are towards him, like, you know, them asking, is this your father or your grandfather? He's like, why don't you tell them yes? So that they keep quiet. And sometimes when we go live, he's like, can you people come up with new comments that are exciting?
We are getting old of
yeah,
these
this
ones.
one are boring. This one are boring, you know? And yeah, so that has been it. I mean, it's important, like, to be proud of your love, you know? Because at the end of the day, you are the only one living that life.
And you are the only one, you know, you are the only one who knows exactly what you want in life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand it best.
Let me ask you, because I've seen this a lot. When you go to the supermarket together, or when you are walking together, do people give you the eye?
Kabisa. They look at us, kabisa. They give us stares, and they're not those like hiding stares, you know, the ones that you can use something to stare. No, they stare at you like literally like this, you know, and some might, you know, shout sponyo or something, sponsor or something, but it's, you know, it's okay for us. We are used to it, you know, we are just like, it's a normal thing now. Hata tukiona waangalie now tunashangaa, kwani love imechange ama nini, our relationship has changed or what. So it's a normal thing for us. We get the stares everywhere, and it doesn't affect us or it doesn't stop us from doing things together or going together. Not at all.
I know I'm gonna sit with him here because we really want to hear from him. But what's the worst thing someone has said to you guys?
So the worst thing that someone has ever said is that I am a slave to a colonialist. Yeah, and the only thing that has made it the worst comment is the racism in it. You understand? People think racism exists only from white people towards black people, but it exists from black people
to black people
to white people.
Yeah.
It exists kabisa, you know. And so for them, it's like, okay, it's like they are entitled to call them anything. They go here, Black Lives Matter, you know, whereby you come to somewhere in Africa, and you've had cases in like West Africa where they kill these white people, some in Mombasa even, maybe when they're trying to mug or some whatever. But white lives matter as well, and racism is real even in Africa. You understand? It's not as, you know, prominent as it is in other, let's say, continents, but it exists. And so for me, that is very difficult.
And you are not a slave.
I'm not a slave.
When someone calls you a slave,
yeah, they call me a slave, they call me a maid, they're like, umeosha vyombo leo, like, they call me all these things, but I'm like, acha nicheke. It's funny, like, it's funny when they say that sometimes, because I pity them, you know, because for me it feels like they're so let me say, not enlightened about, you know, it's the 21st century. Yeah. So they say I'm a sex slave. They say, kama si sex slave, mimi ni slave wa nyumba. They say this and that and the other. He's just there to use you, to use your body. So I'm like, okay, but have I not made the decision to be with this man? Seriously. Do they understand what a slave means, honestly? When you are a slave, Lynn, you have no say anywhere. You are chained. You are locked. You are like a prisoner. I'm not a prisoner. If I'm a prisoner of anything, I'm a prisoner of love. Let me just say that.
God.
And I'm proud to be a prisoner of love to this man.
Have your kids ever asked you any questions, or has anyone ever said, really bad things to them?
No one has ever said good thing. No one has ever said anything bad to my children. The only thing they say is that they ask me if I'm sure if he's a father because they look Somali. No, they try to look for some other things.
Yeah.
So they are like, oh no, these kids do not look pointies. These kids are Somali. You chased this man. But I'm like, okay, ni sawa.
Those are his kids.
Yeah, those are his kids.
How do you deal with all this? You must be one of the strongest.
Smiling. I almost sang I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn.
Oh my, that song so resonated with me. I was just like, yes.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Nothing shakes you.
Imagine nothing, Lynn, nothing. I found, let me say, it also comes with your, let's say, mental health and
Your
inner
mindset
peace.
and your mindset.
Yeah. So when you are grounded and you are rooted, you know, the only thing I say, if something was to shake me, is if my intentions were not right with Greg. You know, I would be like, Kai, they know. You know, or I would be too embarrassed of the hate. I would be so shaken and too like put down by the comments that affect my relationship.
Inakusuffocate.
Inisuffocate na inichoke.
Inakuaffect, inakuchoke.
Yeah, that would be the case.
But
yeah, I know my intentions. You know,
do people have other women or other men come to you and they're like, man, you are strong, you are out there. I'm in an interracial relationship, or the age gap in my relationship is so, you know, and I don't know what to do about it. And I'm even scared of showing my partner to the world.
Yes, I've had so many comments about that. Young ladies and even older ladies writing to me saying, Aki, thank you for sharing your love story, because through this I'm able to share mine as well. Not publicly, but at least I can go out with them. And some write to me and they're like, how can I even go to the shop with my man with all this hate comment because of our age gap? Not hate comment on social media, in real life. They're like, I can't even go anywhere with my husband because of our age difference. When I'm leaving, I'm like, stay in the house, let me just go, because I don't want to face these comments. And I say to them, the only way you can conquer this is if you go above it, and the only way to go above it is if you're proud of it. You know, when you're proud of something, Lynn, and
you want to show it off.
Yeah, exactly, you want to show it off. You're like,
this is mine.
It doesn't matter, you know. And so long as you know you are not sinning, I'm not going against any like cultural, what can I say, morals, you know, then why should I be afraid, honestly? Why should I have that fear? And why do people want to instill that fear in me and see it affecting me?
And you are your own person.
I'm my own person.
Your kids have the strongest mom ever.
Oh, thank you,
No,
Lynn.
for real. Your kids have the strongest mom ever.
You.
God,
Yeah.
and I think you are such a strong individual. And man, I'm even inspired.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, I think no one deserves to tell you how you should live your life.
True.
And you cannot give someone so much power over you.
No.
They don't deserve it.
They don't
deserve it. And these are your choices.
Yeah, these are my choices.
And you are proud of your choices.
Yeah, they are my conscious choices, Lynn.
Conscious choices.
Yeah, they are intentional.
They are very undeliberate.
And deliberate. It's not like I'm making choices when I'm in dreams. No.
Have you gone back to school?
Not
Do
yet.
you intend on going back?
Yes, I intend.
Or what do you intend on doing after this?
Okay, so currently I am a business owner. I make fashion and deco pieces from using feathers.
Where they are online?
Yeah, they are online.
Where can our audience get them?
They can get from Flamingo Deco,
Yeah.
fashion and deco on Instagram.
Yeah.
So we just started this year, and due to COVID, we've had some, let's say, challenges.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I'm an actress in theater, and I am looking into now expanding it into, you know, let's say mainstream, mainstream.
Amazing.
Yeah. So aside from that, I'm a content creator, and aside from that, I'm a half-time mother and a half-time wife.
Wow.
I like saying half-time
because you have to split the attention.
Because and then also I have to have my me time, Lynn.
Yeah,
it's what
yes,
makes
yes.
us sane. Cindy,
Good.
You have to have your me time.
Yeah,
you know.
You always have your own me
Yeah.
time.
And work on yourself in terms of, like, you know, sometimes we don't realize that we have suffered so much in growing up. You don't have to have gone through at least so much in life, negativity in life, but the processes we go through life, they affect us a lot, you know, and they affect our, let's say, mentality in so many things. So it's important you take your time
and work on your
and
mental
just work on
health
yourself.
too.
Yeah, kabisa.
Man, me, I love you, Yani.
Thank you.
I love you, man. You and Greg, what do you do to spice up your relationship?
So the first thing that we made sure, like, you know, we have to do is to have that alone time. So what we do, we have dates out. We, you know, people ask, you know, let me say this. I don't know if it's PG or not PG, but they ask me, huyu anawezana kweli, like
Ana kitambi, so atawezana.
Ati huyu mnapelekana aje? Ati hata anaweza kazi kweli, lakini niko like
kwa kitanda anaweza kazi.
Gailin, wewe.
Mimi nauliza ni venye wanauliza.
Sitaki muanze kukuja na line.
Wasikuja na line.
Sitaki ati muanze kupanga line kwangu. No. But yeah, kuwezana nayo tunawezana vizuri sana. So what we do is so apart from, you know, having our day out,
yes,
so we do things together in terms of like reading together, find things to watch together, you know, those little things, you know, cook together, you know. We make sure that every night we eat together, all of us at the table, and those are things that spice up the relationship.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you may think they don't work, you may think they're small things, but those are the small things that count.
They count a lot. We.
Yeah.
Wow. Sisikii tuko toksi ishe. Niko na kierere leo. Sisikii kama nataka hii tuko toksi ishe. Sana tafutilia kaswali kengine. Ndio tukae hapa.
Yeah.
What would you want your kids to know about their mom?
One thing I would like to know, I would like them to know that about their mom is that their mom is very independent minded. That, you know, and when I say independent minded, I don't mean like hard-headed. You know, when I put my mind into something, I follow through. And I follow through to perfection. And I would say I won't take any credit. I would say it's also by how I've been raised. I would say also Greg has also changiad with the experiences that we've had and the man that he is in my life right now. And I would like them to know that they can achieve anything they want to achieve, no matter what. No matter the slips and the falls, they can go through it. You might have, what happens, Lynn, you know, people think life as a competition. Like you see someone doing what you like doing and you think, oh, they're ahead of me. But what I like to think, and I would like my kids to think, is that we all have our lanes in life. And on your lane, you have your goodies. It's like a treasure hunt. You go hunting, you know? And so you might delay. Si kuna kuanga na breakdowns za gari. So you might delay, but at the end of the day, it's how you get up from that and move forward.
That matters.
So never let anything drag you down. You know, I've had so many things that would have just made me want to even kill myself, or to even just give up on life, or to even just like be hohehahe. But I decided I won't let that happen. I decided, no, I am greater than that, and I can do better than that. So I would like my kids to just be, you know, live purposefully and know that at the end of the day, their choices, so long as they are sane choices, they are cultured choices, that they are valid.
They are valid.
Yeah.
And to your haters.
And to my haters, Aki, thank you so much, you guys, because if it were not for you, honestly, I wouldn't be sitting here today. Yeah. You have given me motivation, and you have given me the courage even to just inspire other young ladies and other women to just be proud of their choices in the relationships. You know, usijali, it might not be an age gap, but it may be, let's say, physical appearance, maybe there's a deformity or something, maybe it can be anything, maybe work, maybe kitu yoyote tu enye society thinks that it's not fit to be accepted. Embrace it, love it, push it forward. So to my haters, Aki, thank you so much. Like me, I'm so happy, by the way. Yeah, that they showed me that there needs to be that awareness that age gap love is real. and it's okay to have it.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Finally, talk to Greg and tell people where they
Yeah.
can find you on social media.
Okay, so on social media, you can find me on Instagram at Shiro_Njuguna, on TikTok Shiro_Njuguna, and on YouTube Shiro Njuguna. Yes.
Ujaongea, hebu ongelesha Greg.
Oh, sijaongelesha
Tutoki
Greg.
hapa.
Oh, umesema niongeleshe Greg. Oh, babe. I love you so much, and I'm so thankful to have you in my life. You are that light and the spark, you know, of our family, and I'm grateful for you, and I treasure you so much, and I just love you.
Oh my goodness. I
Yeah.
have not sat on this chair and felt so, is it elevated? And I also have to admit, even
Yeah.
I as Lynn,
Yeah.
I've been judgmental before. I've looked at people and I've thought I have the right to judge them. And every time I sit on this chair, I keep learning. No, I shouldn't do that. Even for me, it's quite a learning experience. Every time I look someone in the eyes and they're telling me their story, I always ask myself, what have I learned from this? And I've learned so much from you. And I think so many people will be inspired and challenged by your story. And you know, I'm older than you are, but what you've gone through, I don't even think I would handle half of what you've gone through. And I just like, allow me to commend you for being such a brave woman.
Thank you
and
so
for
much.
standing up for what you believe in, and for knowing this is me, and I am allowed to make these choices for my life, for my sons, for my husband, and even for, I don't know, for so many people. You have no idea how many people you've challenged
Oh my
today.
God.
Because if I'm feeling like this,
Yeah.
I don't know what you are feeling at home. I want you to tell me what you think of today's conversation, and I'm gonna be sitting down with her husband, so I know you guys will want to watch this episode too. But before we go, remember you can always share your story with me. Comment yangu imepiniwa hapo kwa comment section, but most importantly, let me know what you think of today's episode. Please, let's not be judgmental. My name is Lynn Ngugi. See you in a bit.